Okay. So every year, every Toastmaster club elects their leadership for the next year. The leadership of any Toastmasters club is determined through election. So the process is like this, that there is a nomination committee that is formed by the current president. So in this case, Toastmaster Jahadev Shah asked myself to head and manage this assignment. As per Toastmasters traditions, the immediate past president heads the nomination committee, although in some cases that may differ, but in most cases, that's what happens. So the immediate past president then educates and asks for applications from all the members regarding various roles. So once those roles are explained, the applications are received. And once the applications are received, the nomination committee deliberates about those applications. The deliberation process can be individual, it can be with other members, it can be a discussion with the applicants, and it can also be a discussion with the current president and the current club executive committee. Let me clarify that the club executive committee has absolutely no role in nominations or elections for the next year. It has an advisory role. The natural progression of Toastmasters is there too, although it's not 100% binding, but the natural progression is that there's a hierarchy of roles, starting from the president, then VP education, then VP membership, then VP public relations, then secretary, then treasurer, and finally the sergeant at arms. So all these are equal participants in a club's executive committee. They each have one vote. So the president has one vote in decisions and the sergeant at arms has one vote. But in terms of hierarchy, they are slightly different, which means that, for example, if the sergeant at arms is not present, their role can be performed by any other member who is above them in the hierarchy, and vice versa. Similarly, if the president is not present, their role is performed by VP education. If they are not present, their role is performed by the VP membership, and so on and so forth. So for every club to be legitimate, there needs to be 3 compulsory appointments: president, vice president education, and secretary. All the other positions are, of course, have to be there because a healthy club needs to have a full executive committee. But these 3 positions are binding. So the nomination committee received the applications of various applicants, and we discussed and we finalized some nominations. But let me make one thing very clear. Any paid member of a club can present themselves for any position. So if the nomination committee has not nominated a member, they can stand from the floor. And that's what will happen today. You will see the election process. The election process will be that I will nominate a position. I will then communicate that this is the official nominee for a particular position. And if there is someone else who wishes to run for this position, they have the floor and they can present themselves. If nobody presents themselves, then the nominated candidate is elected unopposed, and the secretary of the club casts a symbolic vote for them. If there is a challenger, then a voting takes place, and the one who has a simple majority gets elected. So that happens for all the positions. We have nominated a few positions today, and some positions are still open. So once again, as we proceed through the election, you will learn which positions are open. And since, mashallah, we are a club of now 18 people, then it is only fitting that we should have a full ExCom in which every role is filled by a separate individual, rather than the current scenario where some individuals were fulfilling multiple roles. Okay. So,
sorry, I have a question. I missed the initial part where you mentioned the eligibility criteria. So if like we have new members who just joined in, so are they qualified for taking the sergeant at arms and any other vacant positions, are they eligible?
Yes, of course. They are eligible for any position technically, even the president, the VP education, the VP
All
membership.
right.
If they wish to present, all they need to be is a member in good standing. That's it. So technically, yes, but let me tell you one thing, and these are some of the factors that are considered by the nomination committee. While yes, technically every member can nominate themselves for a position and they are welcome to do so, the nomination committee also considers a member's involvement and history with the club and their contribution to the club to finalize a nomination for at least a few senior positions, for example, the president, VP education,
Right.
and VP membership, etc. Because in order to take a club forward, it is important that experienced people take these positions so that they can contribute more. Obviously, there are always exceptions to this, but this is the preferred way. So before commencing, let me just once again confirm from Azhar Saab whether he's logging in, and then we.
Right.
Uh, Toastmaster Jazi?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
DTM
In, yeah. Yeah. In the meantime, can you ask another member to join?
Yes,
Just log into the
I'm
meeting
trying.
so that we can.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let me take this opportunity to briefly explain what each role does, because that's also a task of the nomination committee. First role is, of course, the president. The president leads the club. They head the executive committee, but that does not mean that they have unlimited authority. Every decision that a president takes uh, that has an impact on the club and its members, they need to present it to the executive committee, and the executive committee then needs to present it to the members. For example, if we decide to make a change that has a fundamental nature, we propose to change the meeting day or meeting time of the club, we need to take the consent of the members. It was done last time too when we changed the time, but it was done not in an official manner, but informally it was done. So that is the president's role. They're a face of the club. They open and close every meeting. They have a power to head executive committee meetings and the club meetings. They represent the club in district council, also in area council. Then comes the VP
Hello.
education, and VP education is perhaps the most important and the most active role because VP education makes the agenda. It is their duty to finalize the agenda. It is their duty to manage the educational progress of the members. So it is their job to see what all the members are doing and how much progress they are making in order to uh, uh, achieve their pathways goals. And it is their job to motivate members to do projects and to advance in their pathways. VP membership's job is to bring in new members, of course, but also to look after the affairs of existing members and renewals. VP Public Relation manages the public relation side. So they manage the social media of the club. They manage the posters. They manage the announcements, and it is also their job to work hand in hand with VP membership in order to bring in new members. So, for simplicity's sake, we can say that in order to bring a guest to a club, that is the VP Public Relations job, and then how to convert that guest into a member. That is the VP membership's job. Uh, then there is the secretary, and secretary is a very important position. It is their job to keep the record of all the meetings, to prepare a short minutes of all the meetings, whether it's a club meeting or an executive committee meeting. And also it is their job to present all the resolutions that are passed by the executive committee for members for approval. Now this approval can be in a meeting like this, or this approval can be by form. For example, a form can be circulated and the members can vote on that. It can take any form. Then there's the treasurer. Treasurer is very relevant where the club takes some charges. And when we used to meet physically, we used to take some extra charges from the members for the venue. So it is the treasurer's job that if any money is taken directly from members, they keep track of that money and they present the accounts to all the club members. Finally, there's the sergeant at arms position, and sergeant at arms is a person who manages the meeting. If it's a physical in-person meeting, they manage the meeting. Okay, I think the second that I mentioned connection, my own connection broke. So, okay, but I think we were through with the descriptions, and now we're just waiting for the quorum to complete. I think Toastmaster Asma is also logged out. And Toastmaster Jazib, is any other member joining?
I'm trying to get hold of Junaid and Imran Arain. So
Okay.
hopefully they'll join.
Okay, fair enough. Just ask them to log in.
Yeah. Junaid, walaikum assalam.
Excuse me, TM Tala, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Your net was disconnected, so you were telling me about the sergeant and at arms. So
Yeah.
can you
Okay.
repeat it,
So let
please?
me. Yeah. So it is the sergeant at arms job to actually arrange the venue for a meeting, whether it's physical or virtual. They're supposed to monitor the connection. In case it's a physical meeting, they monitor to connect. Uh, Actually, the whole setup of a meeting, whether it's virtual or physical, the sound is clear, the visibility is clear, the connections are okay. If someone is not audible, they tell them that you are not audible. So by in a virtual setting, they are the co-host of the meeting, and in a physical setting, they look after the venue, they ensure that everything is properly arranged, the doors are closed, etc. So okay, so that is pretty much it. And
Okay, thank you.
okay, do we have a Toastmaster Naveed in the meeting? The Toastmaster Iran is in the meeting. I don't think we have a Toastmaster Naveed in the meeting. Okay. So I think we should proceed with the election because it is time, and we're just one short of the quorum. But I believe we should proceed because I think Toastmaster Asgar is supposed to join, but there is some connectivity issue. Okay. Uh, 6, 7, 8.
Toastmaster Junaid is joining in a couple of minutes. So let's see.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So meanwhile, Toastmaster Asma, if you can just float the agenda, like you have already assigned all the roles, if I'm correct.
Yes, but Team Imran has asked a few members to take up few roles.
Yeah. So just let us know which roles are remaining so that they can be taken.
Is the election process over?
No, it's not over. It's not even started yet, but we are just waiting for one more member to join to complete the forum. In the meantime, if we can just assign the roles that are remaining.
It's Word Master has been assigned to Hussein Shah, listener and grammarian, that will be myself. There is one evaluation, Tala, your evaluation, I understand it's with Jahazib. Jahazib, please confirm.
Yes.
And Jahazib, you also have the evaluation of table topics.
Yes, TM Asma, can you repeat? I was on another call.
Apologies. Yeah, table topic evaluation and
Yes.
speech evaluation of TM Tala. You have these
Yes.
roles for the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Tala, you TM OD is Imran Rana, general evaluator is TM Naveed, table topic master is TM Talha, table topic evaluator is Jahazeb. Speech, first speech is of TM Naveed and I'll be the evaluator. Second speech is from Talha and Jahazeb, you will be the evaluator. Word of the day is by Hussein Shah. Listener and grammarian. I understand that Imran was asking someone to take this role.
Actually, yeah, but Toastmaster Naveed is not here in the meeting yet.
Okay, so I'll be the listener and grammarian. That's fine. Or Shoaib, are you ready to take up some role?
Yes, you can assign me any role.
Okay, so Shoaib, I'll be assigning you the listener role, listener and grammarian. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Who can be the timer? Can anyone please volunteer for it?
Okay, Toastmaster Savi has volunteered for the time.
Okay. Okay, and what about the voting? Anyone for here for who can take up the voting?
I can take up the vote.
Okay, okay. So that's it. Should I repeat the agenda? Should I repeat the rules? Team Tala, you're mute.
If you can write it in your sheet that you write it, like, and share it here, that will be great, so that everyone has can easily refer to it. So just take a minute to write everything down
Okay.
in that table
Should I
of
write it
yours,
in the
and then
chat? May I
no
write
no
it in
no
the chat? Because
no. I
the
think
problem is that
it's
I don't
yeah.
have the system actually. So that's why
Okay.
there is a problem. Okay.
Okay,
So
fair
should
enough.
I
Then
write it in
just
the
write
chat?
it. Yeah, just write it once again in the chat so that everybody can see.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Okay, I believe that we have 9 members out of 80, so we can go ahead with the elections. So first of all, I will announce that the post for president, the nomination for next year's president is Toastmaster Asma Kempal. Anybody who wishes to present themselves for this position, anyone who wishes to present themselves for the president's position. Anyone who wishes to present themselves for the position of president. Okay. Anyone who wishes to second the nomination of Toastmaster Asma? Who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Asma?
I do.
Okay, thank you so much. So with that, in absence of any competing candidates, it is declared that Toastmaster Asma has been elected the president for next year. Congratulations. And Toastmaster Asma, you're requested to share your thoughts for 1 to 2 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're fine and doing well. I'm actually honored by this nomination and everyone agreeing to be agreeing that I should be the president. Thank you. I think that is a big responsibility, particularly because the past our president TM Jahazev has been such a wonderful president, and so that's why I think that it will be, we have progressed during his tenure. We progressed so well, and I think that this means a lot of responsibility, particularly when your predecessor has been such a wonderful has done such a wonderful job. I'll be during my tenure. I'll be looking forward for your cooperation and your support. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asma, and congratulations once again. The next position is for Vice President Education. And it is our privilege to announce that Toastmaster Ahmed Bilal has been nominated for Vice President Education. Anyone else who wishes to present themselves for Vice President Education can come forward now. I repeat, anyone who wishes to present themselves for Vice President Education can come forward now. Once again, since all decisions in life are taken after asking 3 times, anyone who wishes to present themselves for Vice President Education can come forward now. Okay. Who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Amir Bilal as VP Education?
I will.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asma. And since our secretary is not present in the meeting, I will ask our president to cast a symbolic vote for Toastmaster Amir Bilal. And Toastmaster Amir Bilal, are you in a position to share your thoughts briefly for about a minute on this occasion?
Yes. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you very much. And I think it's a great privilege and honor to be part of the XCOM team officially, since I have been part of this Storytellers Club for a little long now. And before we proceed with this, I would like to congratulate the immediate past team, VP Education TM Asma. She's done brilliant during her tenure. and TM Jahazir. I understand it is really difficult to bring people in a meeting and then keep them motivated throughout the meeting, and then you know having it going so successfully. It's just a tough job. So wonderful, and I'm so happy that before we have a new XCOM team, we are already 18 members, but still we have to work so hard to like uh, share or give maximum to whoever we have and bring more guests. So our club keeps growing and we all keep learning. So thank you again. And I am committed and motivated to do well and serve well in this club. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir Bilal. And what you just saw demonstrates his dedication. He has participated in Storytellers meeting, whatever it has taken. He has switched jobs in between. He's been in various places. He has even participated in meetings from while he was playing cricket matches. So salute to your dedication. And also let me once again announce that you're a successful club coach and you will get that credit inshallah by June 30 on your way to Distinguished Toastmaster for successfully coaching Storytellers Toastmasters Club to Distinguished Club. Next position is VP membership, and we are once again pleased and privileged to announce that we nominate Toastmaster Mudassir Ali for this position. Anybody who wishes to come forward for this position? Once again, anybody who wishes to come forward for the position of VP membership? Anybody who wishes to come forward for the position of VP membership? Okay, who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Mudassir Ali?
I do.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Amir Bilal. Congratulations. It is my honor to announce that Toastmaster Mudassir Ali has been officially elected as Vice President membership. Toastmaster Mudassir, we would love for you to share your thoughts for 1 to 2 minutes at this occasion.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, thank you very much. This is again a challenging job for me since I'm very new to this Storytellers Club. I can see that the XCOM is having a very experienced personnel that were already performing some kind of roles in the club. But to me, VP education is relatively a very challenging job. But having some kind of negotiation and relationship management skills, which are part and parcel of my job, so I will try my best to be an asset for this club and use my skills to showing your trust in me, and I will definitely prove to actually provide my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mudassir Ali, and our heartfelt congratulations to you. Our next position is VP Public Relationship, and there's a very interesting nomination for this because our sitting president has presented himself for this position as Vice President Public Relations, and that is a lesson for all of us. Some of you may have heard about distinguished Toastmaster Samir Hamid Dhudi, who was our first ever district director. And currently he's serving as Sergeant at Arms of Kolachi Toastmasters Club. So when you are serving, the position does not matter. In Toastmasters, in a volunteer organization, it does not matter whether you have been in any position in the past. You can always serve and you can always contribute in a new position. And there's no higher or lower positions. All positions are towards service. So anyone who wishes to present themselves for Vice President Public Relations. Anyone who wishes to present himself for Vice President Public Relations. Let me correct myself, himself or herself. Anyone who wishes to present themselves for Vice President, Public Relations. Who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Jahazib Shah?
I do. I support second.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful that none of his relatives seconded the nomination and a neutral person did. So,
And I also
okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As the secretary is not here with us today, I will ask our VP Education Toastmaster Asma to cast a symbolic vote for Toastmaster Jahazib Shah. We congratulate President Toastmaster Jahazib Shah for his election, and we ask you to present your thoughts for 1 to 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha and everyone. It is a very good opportunity for me to serve in terms of public relations as well. I would learn from this opportunity, and I would serve. I aim to serve in a different way to our club, and I hope that I will make good progress. I will do good, and I've seen a lot of different skills from DTM Talha, who was our previous VPPR. So I wish to learn from him and take our goal to our club to new levels in terms of public relations, and with proper public relationships we can grow further, we can reach to different horizons. So that is what my aim is, and I wish to congratulate everyone, all the new XCOM members. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saeed Jahazib Shah. We are lucky to have you as a VP Public Relations. And I don't know what you will learn from me, but I wish I could have done this job better. But of course, we will work together. Next position is for Secretary. And Secretary, for this position of Secretary, Toastmaster Shoaib Shah has presented himself. So he is hereby nominated as the Secretary. Anybody who wishes to come forward for the post of Secretary? Anybody who wishes to nominate themselves from the floor for the post of Secretary? Anybody who wishes to nominate themselves from the floor for the post of Secretary? Who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Shoaib Shah?
I second.
Okay. We have 2 seconders, so thank you so much. And I will request our president to cast a symbolic vote for Toastmaster Shoaib Shah. And Toastmaster Shoaib Shah, please share your thoughts for 1 to 2 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum, dear fellow Toastmasters. I hope you all are fine and enjoying the weather these days. Actually, I want to share my personal feeling to be as selected as a secretary for this club. I have learned a lot of things from this platform in terms of personal development and professional growth, such as confidence, public speaking, and analytical approach to the daily task and positive thinking. So therefore, I think it is time to pay back and to serve Toastmasters as per my individual capabilities. That's why I nominated myself for this post, and it is glad, and I will try my level best to do as much as I can for this platform as secretary. This is all from my side. Thank you very much to trust on me, and I'll do my best, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shoaib Shah. We congratulate you. Our next
Thank you.
position is for treasurer, and for treasurer, we don't have a nomination yet. So anybody who wishes to stand from the floor for the post of treasurer? Anybody who wishes to present themselves for the post of treasurer? Anyone who wishes to present themselves for the post of treasurer. Okay, since no one has done so, I will request, with the approval of the president, that whether our existing treasurer, Toastmaster Farooq Umar, would like to continue in this position, because that is also allowed in Toastmasters. Now we move on to the post of Sergeant at Arms. And for the Sergeant at Arms, uh, who is who wishes to present themselves for Sergeant at Arms? Anybody who wishes to present or nominate themselves for Sergeant at Arms? Don't just nod, say it.
Sensha.
Toastmaster Hussain Shah. Yeah, Toastmaster Hussain Shah, you wish to present yourself as Sergeant at Arms. Anybody else who wishes to present themselves for Sergeant at Arms? Anyone who wishes to present themselves for Sergeant at Arms? Last call. Anyone who wishes to present themselves for Sergeant at Arms? Okay. Who will second the nomination of Toastmaster Hussain Shah?
I do.
Thank you so much. So congratulations, Toastmaster Hussain Shah, for being elected as our Sergeant at Arms. Please express your thoughts in 1 to 2 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum to all my fellow Toastmasters. So this was a great opportunity for me as this role was available, and I nominated myself. And thank you all for believing in me. I hope I will do my job good, greatly, and I will take care of this club also, and I will be a serious member of this club from now, as I am a Toastmaster now. So this is a new role for me, and I hope to take it well. So thank you all. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I request our president to cast a symbolic vote for Toastmaster Hussain Shah. So with that, with utmost pleasure and humility, I announce that our election process has successfully come to a close. And I'm deeply grateful for the consultation provided to me by all the executive committee members and from our president, Toastmaster Syed Jahazeb Shah. Most of you do not have any idea what are the draws of time on Toastmaster Jahazeb Shah's time, how busy he is, and he's also busy with another Toastmaster club. But he never lets you feel that. And he has always done everything meaningfully and on time, for which I'm truly grateful to you. And with the election process complete, and I once again congratulate our newly elected ExCom. And I will still urge that there's a vacant position for the secretary, for the treasurer. So if anybody wishes to come forward, they can nominate themselves during this meeting via chat, and they will be appointed. See, it's not just about having something to do, because I know treasurer has precious little to do at this point in time, but it is about having a position on the executive committee, having an ability to participate in decisions, and to earn credit towards your distinguished Toastmaster. So with that announcement, I will hand over the floor now to Toastmaster Syed Jahazeb Shah as our president. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, DTM Tala. And I would like to congratulate the incoming ExCom committee. So it is a big day, and we hope that we would serve the club to a new level. So inshallah. And now we would start our regular meeting, and I welcome you all for the regular club meeting. Thank you so much for joining in today. So the Toastmaster of the day today is Toastmaster Imran Rana. So I would like to hand over the charge to Mr. Imran Rana for the further proceedings. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Janze, the president of Karachi, Storytellers Toastmasters Club. I would congratulate you conducting successful election of your club, and congratulations to all those elected position holders. May you have an amazing year next year. This year was quite challenging, but you showed a very good example of a good leader, and hats off to you for all your efforts, because you're the one who not only helped this club to achieve the targets, plus you also managed to make another club in Alkaram Toastmasters Club. So we should give you a big round of applause. So with that, let's begin our Toastmasters meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good afternoon. It's afternoon now. A very good afternoon. So in Toastmasters, we have 3 segments. That is the prepared speech segment, in which all the members of the clubs will deliver their projects from their designated pathways. And after that, we will going to have an amazing segment that is called Table Topic segment, in which Table Topic Master invite everyone, that is either you are a guest or a member, you will be called for a minute or for 2.5 minutes to speak on a topic, and that topic will be provided by the Table Topic Master, and you have to speak it extempore. After that, we will going to have an evaluation segment conducted by a guest from all the way from Bahrain. He is my good friend, DTM Naeem Yusuf, who is going to conduct general evaluation segment, in which he's going to highlight the strong areas and also the areas of improvement on which we will have to work upon to make it more better for the next time. To assist me, we have different team players. Our first role player is Word Master, and for Word Master, we have our elected Sergeant at Arms, that is Hussain Shah. So, Toastmaster Hussain Shah, would you like to explain your role as a Word Master? Over to you.
Yes, thank you. So this is my first time as a Sergeant in Arms role. So the more and more I know about this role is, DTM Tala also told me about this role, is that it is the co-secretary of the meeting. The Sergeant in Arms is the co-secretary of the meeting. So this, my role, what?
Yes, since you are the Word Master, so I would request you to please explain the role of Word Master.
Okay, Word Master. So the word of the day is scintillating, and which means sparkling and shining, and I'm the Word Master. So the Word Master role is, I will notice everyone who has speeches and the table topics, and I will notice everyone who will say the word scintillating, and then I will tell you about the names of all the members who use the word. So this is the Word Master role.
So what is the word of the day?
Scintillating.
Scintillating. Okay. Is it possible to give us an example?
Yeah, it's possible. I will give you a sentence. So throughout the meeting, all the members made people laugh with their scintillating remarks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hussain Shah. So everyone, word of the day is scintillating, and you have to use the word as many times as you can. And the Word Master will going to present his report in the evaluation segment. Moving on to our next role player, we have Timer. And Timer, we have Toastmaster Sabi. Toastmaster Sabi, could you please explain your role as a timer?
as a timer, I record timing. Usually we have a speech of 5 to 10 minutes. So when you pass the threshold of 5 seconds, I'll show you uh, this green paper, and after 6 minutes, I'll show this yellow paper, and when any of the member exceeds with 7 minutes, I'll show this red paper. And table topic timing is usually 1 to 2 minutes. So I'll show these papers according to the time. Thank you.
So, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sati. So she will going to share at 1 minute the green paper, at 1.5 minutes the yellow one, at 2 minutes the red one. Which means that you have only 30 seconds to wrap up the speech, because after 30 seconds there won't be any signals for disqualification, and you will be disqualified for voting. Moving on to our next role player, we have listener and grammarian. Toastmaster Shweb. Toastmaster Shweb, could you please explain both the roles, listener and grammarian? Over to you.
Thank you. My responsibilities would be to check the grammatical
Toastmaster
mistakes.
Shweb, Toastmaster Shweb, you are not audible. Could you please speak out loudly? Speak up loudly.
Am I audible to everyone? My responsibilities would
Yes,
be
you
to
are.
check. My responsibilities would be to check the grammarian mistakes and to highlight and tell them where they can improve the sentences. And that would be the responsibilities I will play. I'll perform in today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweb. Now moving on to our next facilitator, we have vote counter Toastmaster Asma. Toastmaster Asma, could you please explain the role?
Hello, everyone. As a vote counter, I'll be taking your votes for the prepared speeches as well as for the table topics, and will share the report at the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's begin our meeting. The first segment of the meeting, that is the prepared speech segment. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Naveed, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Asma Kampwala, the elected president of Storytellers Toastmasters Club. So I request Toastmaster Asma to please introduce the speaker and also let us have the object of the speech. Stage is yours. Toastmaster Asma, are you with us?
Yes, I am, but I think that TM Naveed hasn't joined us. I think that TM Naveed couldn't make it.
He's here. He's here.
He's here?
He's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So TM Naveed, are you prepared with the speech? I'm asking because I just got a text message. Would you be presenting the speech? Team Naveed, are you there?
I think Toastmaster Naveed is presenting because he shared with me. Toastmaster Naveed, are you presenting the speech?
I will be, sorry, I will be. I will be presenting the speech.
Yes, he will be presenting Toastmasters.
So Toastmaster Asma, the stage is yours.
Well, TM Naveed is a member from KTC Club, and his pathway is Leadership Development Level 1. The project is evaluation feedback, second speech. Title of the speech is Know Your Data. As time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, TM Naveed.
Yeah. So just allow me to fix my phone. I just need 5 minutes. My apologies.
5 minutes are too much. If that's the case, we can move to the next speaker if you want much time.
I just messed it up. Yeah. Am I audible at this point?
Yes, you are perfectly audible and visible. So big round of applause for Toastmaster Naveed Aslam.
Can you see the timer, Toastmaster Naveed? Timer is Toastmaster Sabi.
I cannot, but let me time myself because I have my watch.
Toastmaster Sabi, will you turn on your video?
Yes, yes.
You can pin Toastmaster Sabi, or maybe I can spotlight you along with the timer.
Yeah. So if you can put, that would be great. Thank you so very much.
Just a second.
It's messy. So.
Okay.
Should I start the timer?
Yeah, please.
Just give, as soon as he starts, just sorry. It's not allowing me to place multiple highlights. But Toastmaster Naveed, can you see Toastmaster Sabi's window? Please turn on your video, Toastmaster Sabi. And yes, there you are. And, yeah, Toastmaster Naveed, can you see the timer? Now I believe we should be.
I'll do it through my watch. That's not a problem because my phone is barely fixed and I touch
Okay.
it. So
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You can start.
Thank you so very much. As businesses increasingly depends on electronic data and network of computers to conduct their daily operations. Growing personal and financial information are being transacted and transmitted online. There is an increasing chance this information, both personal and financial, might be wrong. It could be financial and personal repercussions for individuals as well as corporates. Governments are also exposed. Corporates could be liable to extreme liabilities. How can secrecy can be ensured? Why it is important that every one of us should be concerned? I was reading a newspaper article in which Air India lost 4.5 million customer data. When I say 4.5 million customer data, it is not only name or addresses, but it has credit card information, it has their personal information, I mean date of birth from which an individual is typically recognized, or which we call PII, personally identified information. We all happily share our data on Facebook or all other social network sites, but do we realize that by sharing these PIIs, that potentially could land into the hands of potential cyber criminals, we could be exposed. And this case is not only the one case. Within the article, I also read that UK and Hong Kong were other countries where these airlines, their top level airlines lost their data and they were heavily fined. But we still remember one of the biggest data breach that happened in Marriott hotels, in which almost 5.4 million customers was lost. And knowing hotels, what kind of information they retain, depending, starting from what you like, what you don't like, credit card, your makeup time, and all that. So what is this? This is scary and different than some thief just take out your purse, or bad guys barge into a bank and take out all the money. These cyber criminals may not be present in the country where you live. They could be gangs. One getting the data, the other one utilizing that data and sell to someone else so that they use it for their personal and financial gains. So how much we should be worried about? Cybercrime is a very complex world. As I have explained earlier, gangs are divided into two parts. First one could be the one who actually take your data, where it is actually utilized and converted into a information which the other criminal can utilize and extract the information and use it for their personal gains. And how much our personally available information is already there, and they just need few puzzles, few missing dots, which they can have and utilize that information. There are conflicting analysis on the damage that these cyber criminals or these new way of theft can pose to the world economy. A very recent study conducted by the Insurance Institute of the US put it at somewhere around 400 billion. Although this is not confirmed, this is the extent of the loss. But McAfee and other companies are agreeing to this number. This includes everything starting from the cost that a company did. The systems that governments need to put in place to stop these data losses. So can we isolate ourselves? How can we mitigate ourselves? So let me tell you, there are a couple of techniques that these criminals use. First one is phishing. This method is being used wherein you can receive an email, sometimes receive an email from your boss, weird information. The second thing is social engineering, which is very common. Most of us, we got text from DISP that आपका इतना इनाम निकला, and then we happily, few of us happily share the information. There could be cases in which someone call and say, okay, I'm calling from Central Bank of Pakistan, and I need your CNIC number, give me that number. Or you receive PIN code in error, which we share and lost our data. So that's every social. There are also skimmer devices. When you go and give up a credit card, those guys just skim that, they have that information. Phishing is another technique in which you get text from some very reputable company, and then that extract information. Juice jacking is another manner in which when charge your phone in a public space, so your phone is compromised and all the data from that device which is compromised and you lost the data. So knowing and understanding how you can actually prevent these data loss may prevent you from financial loss, because anything that you have voluntarily supplied to social engineering doesn't absorb you from your liability. So loss is yours. Companies can bear the liability if they lost the data. So I have few advices. Do not open the emails that you receive from suspicious sources, and do not provide confidential information that you ever get an email from the domain of arising from some weird kind of information that they are asking. No bank, no credit card company, or no financial institution will ever ask for information. And there is no such thing where you receive a PIN code in error and happily share that with others. Always check while you're serving a little HTTPS in front of the email that you are or website that you are. But that S is very important. Without any S, please close your browser. So, make sure that you utilize two-factor authentication. All social networking sites that you use, they all have it, but don't use it with Gmail. That will actually help you and save you from these cyber criminals. Be wary of tempting offers and keep your antivirus and malware updated. Remember, the probability of getting compensation in case of social engineering or where we ourselves voluntarily share the information is zero. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, for delivering such an informative speech. Now we are moving towards our second speaker. He is DTM Talha bin Hamid, and he will be evaluated by the president of the club, Toastmaster Jahanzeb Shah. Master Jahanzeb Shah, I request you to please read out the objectives and introduce the speaker. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. DTM Talha is delivering his speech from Leadership Development Pathway, Level 1, Project 2, Evaluation and Feedback is Speech 2. And his speech title is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Third Hoon. And the objectives are, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. So it is his second speech, and he got some feedback from the initial speech. Now he is delivering the second speech. So best of luck, DTM Talha. The stage is yours.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Talha, before starting your speech, could you please announce your speech title?
Third.
All the best.
Toastmaster Jahanzeb pronounced it perfectly. So, I think I'm audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay. When you think about early 80s India, how do you imagine it to be? Now, if you want to admit it or not, most of us spent our childhood and teens watching Indian movies on VCRs, didn't we? And seeing through the lens of those movies, one imagines that the whole country is filled with green crops from here to there, and rivers and palaces and shiny floors. And amidst all that, there is a beautiful lady dancing and gyrating to scintillating music and running in slow motion towards her beloved, a hero who looks like a potato and not much better looking than you or myself. So you can only envy their fate. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, imagine my delight when in 1982 I learned that I will get to visit my father's ancestral home in one of the famous cities of India. And when we reached outside the home, I thought all my dreams were about to be fulfilled because there was a huge field and it was surrounded by houses. And in the middle, there was a huge banyan tree, tall and old and swaying. And it had a long beard, and the beard was swaying in breeze, gentle breeze overhead. there were clouds and they started to rain. And I thought to myself, now, if only a beautiful lady clad in a red sari emerges from behind the tree and runs toward me, I will be ready for her. Yes, a beautiful lady did emerge from behind the tree. And yes, she did run towards me with open arms. But she was not a heroine. She was the wife of my maternal uncle. And she said, "Oh, what a surprise! All of you are here. I cannot believe my eyes. Come in, come in, come in." And my father's ancestral home looked like a fort from the outside. And then we stepped inside and disappointment. I don't know what drug people took when they were designing homes in the old times. Highly inappropriate map of the home looked like this. There was a large yard in the middle, and there was a hand pump to extract water. And it was surrounded by random rooms and verandas and washrooms and kitchens and stores without any semblance of order, as if rotted teeth had arisen out of a diseased gum. There was no logic to it. So me, my father, and my mother entered the household, as it was my mother's first visit to her in-laws' ancestral home. She demanded to use the washroom. My uncle guided her that you can go there. My mother came back after a few minutes. And she was terrified. There were tears in her eyes. And her face looked as if she had seen a ghost. She was sweating and slightly shivering. I couldn't find the occasion to ask what had happened. But then I needed to use the washroom myself. And I understood. I went towards the toilet. Only there was no toilet. There were 3 holes in the ground. And between these 3 holes, there were brick walls up to 2 feet in height. I don't know for what purpose. To safeguard the ventilation and even flow of light, there was no door. And yes, there was an exit. And the exit had no door as well. And the exit opened into the back alley. The thinking behind this design seemed to me that anybody who's doing their business in the toilet will not waste their time, and they can greet their neighbors while doing so, and the neighbors can greet them. After a few moments, when we had regained our senses, my mother asked my uncle 3 questions. 1, is this the only toilet in the house? 2, are there any real toilets either in this house or in the neighbors' houses? If so, please guide me towards them. And 3, what if someone is using the toilet and another person walks in? My uncle smiled and he swallowed a big swig of chewing tobacco and then said, "Bhabhi, it's absolutely simple. When someone is approaching the toilet, they make a booming noise with their feet, thud, thud, thud. And if someone is using the washroom, they hear that thud and shout out, 'Whoo!' Simple." Hello, Toastmasters and guests. That was 1982. About 40 years ago. Can you believe that that household, no one was educated below the level of masters, and right as we discussed the toilet, there were 3 PhDs part of that discussion. Just imagine the generational leaf that we have discovered and benefited from in our lifestyle, thanks to the country that we have. We live with a lifestyle that millions of people in our neighboring countries cannot match, even our poor and lower middle class people. I encountered a similar situation in 2014 though, but it was not India, it was the richest country in the world. The place was Maidan Arafat and the occasion was Hajj. But of course, back at that point in time, you are graceful for any difficulty that you face because it's the Hajj. And I realized one thing. What does no one need for a good life? Just clean toilets, a place to call home, some food and water. Everything else is incidental. So if you ever face a difficulty in life, just remember three words. Third, whom? Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Talha, for such an amazing and entertaining.
Toastmaster Imran, are you there? Okay, let me ask the timer. Toastmaster Sabi, did both the speakers qualify?
TM Namit, speech time is 8 minutes 40 seconds. And DTM Talha, 7 minutes 30 seconds.
Ah, so Mr. President, what do you say?
I say one qualification only, DTM Talha.
Okay, so we don't need to vote for the best speaker.
Yes.
And let me see. Toastmaster Imran has, yeah, he's there. Okay. So Toastmaster Imran, only one speaker qualified. So we can move on to the next segment now.
So who is that speaker?
DTM Talha.
That can only be shared with club members. So take up a membership and you will learn.
Then I should not do this Toastmaster of the day role. Good one. Okay, thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our first segment of prepared speeches has come to an end. Now we are moving towards an exciting segment that is called Table Topics segment. And for that, I once again request our District Director-elect, DTM Talha, to take the stage and let's have an amazing topics. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. And today our theme is up, up and above. So it is all about successes. And I will ask all of you to cast your minds back to the successes that you have experienced in your life. Because it's always good to think about our successes. We obsess too much about failures. We dwell too long on them. We never care to remember what went well and how did we do that. Because that's a surefire recipe for success. So word of the day is scintillating. And our first table topic speaker will be someone who thinks she will not be called because she's the timer, but she's wrong because I will time her. Toastmaster Sabi Hida, you are our first table topic speaker.
Okay.
And I will time you. Just give me a second. So Toastmaster Sabi, your topic is in line with our theme of up and above. Your topic is the one time when you experience a particularly successful relationship in your life. A particularly successful relationship in your life, up and above. And the word of the day is scintillating.
This is quite a strange question for me because I am introvert and I have a very few connections and relationships, and I have a slitting scintillating relationship with my mom and my creator, Allah. And I think this is something very strong. And me and my mother share a very strong bonds. She is always support me in all my decisions, and I thought very few women's, very few mothers who are stands with their childrens in all their decision. Sometimes it's very tough, but she always supports me. She always guides me, and whenever I feel heavy or I saw that there is no door and no door open and there is no hope, I recall my creator. So that's the two relations which are very important in my life. Over to you, DTM.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Toastmaster Sabi. Our next speaker is our newly elected Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Hussain Shah. The one time when you were particularly successful in your studies.
Okay, thank you for nominating me, electing me. And this is a very good topic. I would like to tell you that in my back 2 years ago, I used to study. I used to study FSC intermediate in NICOM, that is studies in computer sciences. So I am a dull student from the starting, from 5-6. I do not like mathematics, so I always fail in mathematics. I used to fail in mathematics. This was not my, I do not know what this is, but I don't know. So back 2 years ago, I was studying FSC. So in the second part, in the second year, I failed in my mathematics, and there was one more supply I got in physics. Yeah. So that days were very bad for me. My papers were over, and my result was in my dad's hand and in my parents' hand, and I had to study for only 40 days to clear my all 12 papers. When you get 2 or more supplies in intermediate, you have to give all the 12 papers. There is no exemption. So that was very bad day for me. I had to give all of the 12 papers of the intermediate in only 40 days. I always remember that days, and that days are so painful for me. But failure are a part of life, and we should move on. There are better days coming. Allah blesses us all. So this is all from my side. So thank you, and over to you, Chutiyan Tala.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our next speaker will be our honorable guest, Toastmaster Naeem Yusuf. And Toastmaster Naeem Yusuf, the one time you handled a negative person particularly well. The one time you handled a negative person particularly well. Word of the day is scintillating.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmaster, honorable guest, assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Actually, it happened several times in my life when I had to handle negative persons, because I personally feel myself an optimistic and a positive person. Every time I try to find a positive aspect from every moment and every occasion of the life. But it happened when I once had a communication with my immediate boss. He had a complex in his mind that whenever he always instructed us this: whenever you have to send an email or any communication you want to do with the head office, which is in USA, you must copy to me. I say, okay. So there was a routine matter, and I sent an email to US office for some explanation. And immediately next day, my boss called me. You sent this email? I said, yes, sir. Why didn't you ask me before to send this email? I said, you asked me to send it before sending an email. I must copy to you for routine matter, and I copied you. He said, no, if you want to send an email to US office, you must ask me before that. Why? At that particular moment of time, I realized that he has a complex in his mind that I'm trying to supersede him. I'm trying to bypass him. But actually, it was not my intention. Although I had a relationship with him for the last 10 years, but that particular moment, I realized that this is a complex in his heart from very beginning, that somebody will try to bypass him. And that is why he's trying to give us instructions like that. Always copy me in the email. If I send the email, must ask me before that. Then I ask him, sir, please clearly tell me, should I ask you, should I copy you, or should I ask everybody, please do not communicate me directly. Whatever you want to ask me, whatever you want to tell me, just tell to my boss and the instruction will come to me. He said, no, I didn't realize that. But I realized, and I recognized on that day that yes, a person who is very much open on your mind, on your face, that he is very much wants to teach you something, he wants to guide you, but there is some complex in every person, not every person, but most of the person, that somebody is trying to bypass them. So that was a particular moment when I had a negative person face to face in my life. Thank you, and back to table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Naeem Yusuf. And yes, it's a constant daily challenge to face off against negative persons. Our next speaker will be our new member, Toastmaster Maha Asim. Toastmaster Maha, are you there?
Yes.
It will be good if you can turn on your video as well.
Okay, can you wait just a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yes, I'm here now.
Okay, great. So Toastmaster Maha Asim, the one time in your life when you handled your father particularly well. I know you do that every day, but the one time when you were the most successful, and word of the day is scintillating.
Can you please explain the meaning of this word? I wasn't there when you were talking about it.
The scintillating means sparkling, shining, beautiful.
Oh. I can't really think of anything. I don't know.
Okay, if you can't think about the topic, you can just, introduce yourself and introduce your family. Introduce who you are.
I am Maha Asim. I was a student in Beacon House before, but now this year I'm attending Nixer. I have exams coming up next month, and I don't really have a lot going on right now. I have two younger sisters who I have, and I don't really have a lot in my life. I don't know. Sorry.
No problem, Toastmaster Maha Asim, and thank you. You did a great job by coming on the stage and speaking extempore. And inshallah, when you will start your journey, I've already asked Toastmaster Asma to be your mentor, and she will be guiding you, and then you'll be starting to make speeches. But I know one thing, that mashallah, you are exceptionally talented and you have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's just a matter of confidence and recalling. So thank you so much. Our next speaker will be, Okay, who else is there? Toastmaster Asghar, are you there with us? Can you speak on table topics? Actually, Toastmaster Asghar is engaged in another meeting, and I just asked him to log in to fulfill our quorum. So, which means that our session now comes to an end. Actually, I was thinking about calling Toastmaster Imran Rana, but he disappeared at the very right time, very opportune time. So with that, I hand over the charge back to our now Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Asma. Over to you. And sorry, before that, Toastmaster Sabi did every. Sorry, we have Toastmaster Swift. Sorry. Toastmaster Swift. Yeah. So I'm about to assign you a table topic, and the table topic will be the one time that you did very well in your profession. The one time that you did very well in your profession. Word of the day is scintillating.
Okay. Uh, in Back in 2012, when I started my career in textile industry, in 2013, the person who was supervising me, he left the job, and at that time I was alone to perform my job duties, and uh, at that time the burden was very high on me, and I was alone, and at that time I did very hard uh, to uh, to retain my job, and alone I did the task, the one were doing multiple people. So at that time I in 2013 I was alone, and were doing stitching tasks, were doing but systematic tasks. I was correspondence with customers at that time, and like that at that time I'm recalling in 2013-14, that the time when uh, when I was in early career, So this is what I want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shoaib Shah. And we have one more speaker, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. So Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, the one time you handled your spouse particularly well. Word of the day is scintillating. The one time you handled your spouse particularly well.
And what is the word of the day?
Scintillating.
Sorry?
Scintillating.
Scintillating. And this is in plain English?
In plain English, it means shining, sparkling, beautiful.
Yeah. So this is really very hard because I have to really think when I did that, when she was scintillating. But I would say it was a couple of times, especially when my youngest daughter born. So, and I realized at that time that it was not that you took your spouse to US or to any other fabulous place, but rather it is something that you bring, that at the right time you bring a flower worth just 10 rupees, which makes an impact that none of the things in the world could make. And she was scintillating. And it was a time when I was quite depressed because of my external problems and not giving enough time at home. So just realizing that I am not going well externally as well, and realize that I am not doing good with family, not giving enough time. And suddenly I just do this when I entered home. So I realized that I've done something out of this world. So, and I learned that day that it is nothing else, just a little gesture that actually makes spouse happy. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, you're very right that sometimes we can spend thousands or even hundreds of thousands, and it won't bring a smile to our spouse's face, but sometimes a very little thing. But you know what? Usually it's not by us, it's by someone else. either either their parents or brothers or friends. Uh, even a small thing can bring infinite joy in those situations. But I'm glad that you had a different experience. Uh, with that, I will ask the timer whether all the speakers qualified.
Okay. According to my report, TM Naveed, 1 minute 30 seconds. TM Hussain Shah, 2 minute 8 seconds. TM Shuaib, 1 minute 20 seconds. TM Naeem, 2 minutes 19 seconds. TM Maha, 39 seconds. So
Okay, so it means that Toastmaster Maha did not meet the minimum time. She will certainly next time. So I'm floating the vote in the chat box. There's a link. So everyone, please cast your vote for your favorite table topic speaker. Here comes the link. Okay, and with that, I will now hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day, who is Toastmaster Asma. Toastmaster Asma, are you there?
Actually, DTM Tala, Toastmaster Asma is having connectivity issues.
Okay. No problem.
Actually, because of the connectivity issues, I had to just step out of the house. So I'll request someone else to be the timer. If can anyone please take up this role? Sorry, it is the vote counter. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No. I'm doing the vote counting. No worries.
Because we do the vote counter. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tala. That was a
you assigned
session.
you.
Unfortunately, I missed some
you assigned
speeches.
me. Yeah, you assigned me yourself vote counter. So I'm doing the vote counting. So you can now continue.
I think she's having the
Okay. Anyway, it was now hand over the chat. Thank you for it. Over to you. Sorry, Jazib, are you saying something?
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, over to you, TM Naeem.
Yeah, over to you.
So it's the general evaluation session. Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good afternoon. This is Toastmaster named Yusuf. Today I'm assigned the role of general evaluator, and thank you very much for, first of all, I would like to thank to the Storytellers Toastmaster friends group. They keep on posting their meeting schedules on this group, and through that I came to know that today's the meeting, and I joined the meeting on time. And thanks to Toastmaster Imran, who gave me opportunity to do the general evaluation of today's meeting. I will divide my general evaluation into segments. So I would like to give some suggestions and also some positive, which really there are a lot of things which really inspired me in today's meeting. But before that, I would like to take the individual evaluations from the individual evaluators. The individual evaluator, because of the first speaker, Toastmaster Naveed, that is Toastmaster Asma, who is the individual evaluator of the first speaker. So may I request Toastmaster Asma to please come on stage and give your individual evaluation speech.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. I'll be evaluating TM. It was a very different topic and very hands-on, and the topic was something that we all can relate to. Of course, this is about us, people knowing so many things. He started with the sites, the apps that are capturing our data, and without our knowledge and distributing it to companies who can get some financial gains out of it. Then he moved on to the certain ways of hacking our data, like phishing calls and skimming devices and open Wi-Fi networks, which are actually causing a lot of threat to our usual data that we have. And then he moved on to the advices and the solutions on how we can, what we need to do to avoid such becoming a victim of such scams and such calls, etc. So I think that his call was overall very well structured. The opening was well. It was a very well structured, well sequenced kind of speech, and I think his body language was great as well. He seemed to have a full command on what he was saying, and the topic itself was very relevant, and we could all relate to this topic. Moreover, I think that the opening, the middle, the closing was all very, very well in a sequence. Further, I would say that his voice was a bit distorted at times. I felt that probably, I'm not sure whether it was connectivity at my end or connectivity issues at his end. The only thing that I suggest is that I just felt that there was a bit, the stage movement could have been improved a bit, but probably it's because of the factor that we all have a very minimal stage to perform. But overall, it was a wonderful speech. It was wonderful to have him as a guest and a speaker. And I would congratulate TM Navi, such a wonderful speech. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asma, for this wonderful evaluation. I think the speaker and the individual evaluator both are lucky in the case that both have the voice distortion at their end. And so I was also having some issues to listen properly the voice of the first speaker. Before that, may I request Toastmaster Talha to please unpin the speaker number 1?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Actually, I didn't realize you still pinned. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay.
Yes. And now I would like to call on stage for the individual evaluator of our second speaker, that was Toastmaster Talha, and his individual evaluator is the president of the club, Toastmaster Jahazev Shah. Would you please come on stage and give your evaluation speech?
Thank you so much, DTM9. So, what a wonderful speech by DTM Talha. It was his second speech, and he had to, accommodate the comments or feedback from the previous evaluator. And I can safely say that he has now clearly met all the feedback given from the previous speech. So starting from his topic, it was an amazingly crafted story come speech. So that is the wonderful part. And there was clear voice modulation where you use different techniques in order to exemplify your message and put humor into those. So that was a commendable part. And you added the whole story. You encapsulated that whole your trip into a humorous story, and you mentioned and you focused on one moral point. So that is what very engaging as well as very effective, because it was connected with a very good story, and we learned a lot. Speech crafting wise, it was amazing. The matter was amazing, and you clearly kept the whole journey from starting till the end. So very good opening, very balanced, body and the middle part of the speech, and excellent ending where you clearly mentioned the idea, the central idea, and the punch point. So very well done on the speech crafting part. So you had clarity, you had body language, and especially when you use the space, the stage area, voice quality, and your body language and eye contact. Those were truly amazing, and there were a lot of things to learn from you. Your body language as well as your voice modulation when you were telling the story. You were narrating the sentences from spoken from the other people in your story. So that was really good. So overall, wonderful speech delivery, amazing performance. So thank you so much for delivering wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jahazib Shah, for giving a very encouraging and positive feedback to our speaker. Now, may I know from the timer the time taken by the two individual evaluators?
I'm sorry, I didn't record the time. I apologize for that.
All right. So
Okay,
in that,
usually I don't record time evaluator. Next time I will be careful. Sorry,
all
I
right, it's okay, no issue, no problem. Overall, our both speakers did very much justice to their speeches, and I must say, Toastmaster Naveed, who is the first speaker, you seem to me a very natural way of speaking you exhibit here. And I can say the scintillating skill of the speaking capabilities showed by both of our speakers. Only one thing I would like to recommend Toastmaster Naveed, that before doing the speech, please test your equipment that your voice is audible to the audience, because that is very much important. Otherwise, your body language, your gestures were very natural, and you choose a very good topic for your speech. And not only you tell the problem, but also the solutions. And one thing I would like to request for both speakers, maybe I missed that point, because but I heard that this is the second speech of their individual and feedback from both of the speakers. So before starting your speech, you must tell to the audience that what was the recommendations by the evaluator from the first speech, which you are going to incorporate in your second speech.
Actually, DTM Naeem, what we usually do is that we communicate the same to the evaluator. We do not exactly announce that, because the evaluator then covers those points. But I think it's a very good idea, and we can implement it going forward.
Okay. If it is done like that, that is okay. But otherwise, I was actually used to of this practice that the speaker first announced that my previous speech,
okay,
evaluator gave me this recommendation, which I'm going to incorporate, so that audience could recall one more time that whether he did justice to that point or not. Otherwise,
I think it's a good idea, and it can be implemented. Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. And very good suggestions, Toastmaster Naveed, you gave that HTTPS is very important while opening any website. And speaker number 2, Toastmaster Talha, you give a very wonderful message in your speech, which I got, that is the gratitude, that we should be grateful to the whatever facilities, whatever things we have in our life, because when we come across with those problems in which people are living a happy life, we came to know that how they are living and what they are missing actually, and what we have, and the people even don't realize that what they do not have. So by seeing them, we realize them. Thank you very much. Both speakers did very good. About the individual evaluators, yes, Asma, very good suggestions you gave to Mr. Naveed, and Jahazib also gave very good suggestions, also, which you give into your evaluations. So for the next time, I think the timer should also take the evaluation timing also, and we could have a voting for the best evaluator as well, so that if there's a time disqualification of an individual evaluator, it can be also incorporated. Actually, for this today's meeting, I have some confusion in my mind because I did not have the agenda in my hand, so I did not know what was the exact program of that meeting. I had no idea that today is the election is going to be held, and I thought the meeting timing is from 10, I think 12 o'clock Pakistan time to 2 o'clock. As far as the election procedure is concerned, Talha described it very well, and even a person who is attending the first time at Toastmaster meeting can easily grab the procedure, how the election procedure is going on. And Talha, if you could, for the next time, if you could assign a parliamentarian also for your election procedure, it would be also a good addition for your election. Otherwise, you did all very well. And I would like to salute to Toastmaster Hussein Shah, who gave a scintillating gesture by accepting the Sergeant-at-Arms role spontaneously on the floor. Very good, Toastmaster Hussein. Congratulations to you. And I have attended the Storytellers Toastmaster meeting earlier also, but today I'm surprised that there was no agenda of the meeting circulated. And even the role players were assigned at the spontaneously. I don't know what was the emergency behind, because usually it is done a week or 10 days before the meeting that these will be the role players, and the Toastmaster of the day gets the confirmation from the role players, and VP, especially the VP Education plans that program. And even the Master of Ceremonies were assigned the role spontaneously. Master of Ceremonies role is a very important because he has to take the introduction of all role players, speakers, individual evaluators. So that will be a tough time for him. But Toastmaster Imran did a very good job. I request all the attendees of the meeting, whenever you attend any Toastmaster meeting, please keep your cameras on throughout the meeting. Really, that gives a feeling that you are in a meeting. And it just treats Toastmaster meeting just like a physical meeting. In a physical meeting, you do not hide your face. So similarly, in a virtual meeting, just show your presence to the meeting by opening your, especially when the speaker is speaking, show your gesture so that he could know that, yes, I'm talking to someone. I have a suggestion that, Talha, you can guide me in that better way, that if we start the meeting in a normal manner, even this is a special meeting, we could start, the president could start the meeting. I mean, the Sergeant-at-Arms could ask the president could start the meeting with the number, with the gavel stroke that, okay, the meeting is started, adopts the agenda, establish the quorum. And the election could be done in any other business session of the business session, so that the meeting could be started on time.
Yes. Of course, that's the way it usually happens. But actually, for today's, I think the answer to your earlier comment is also the same. That today there were many competing engagements for many members today. We also have our informal area elections, and as you yourself saw, many of our members are today facing exceptional connectivity issues. That usually does not happen. And so that's why an agenda could not be prepared in time, and it had to be spontaneously prepared. And secondly, we were conscious about having the correct quorum for the election. So as soon as it was complete, the priority was to have the elections done with the proper quorum. So that was the reason. Otherwise, you're perfectly right that it is done in the business section, and any other business section, the election is performed. But several of our members had informed us that we were already late, and some of them had limited availability going forward. So we just thought that it would be good to have the elections first.
Okay, it's perfectly acceptable. Yes, I can understand this. And one more suggestion I would like to give, that when the timer describes the timing criteria, although I think she's a new Toastmaster, if I am understanding correctly, Sabi. So obviously you have a lot of things you will learn through that how to perform this, obviously, but you did your role very well, and whatever you were told, you really did perfectly, noted the time in a very minute, even with the details. But next time when you describe that as a timer role, just describe all timing criteria in one go. Means this is the speech timing criteria for the speeches, this is the timing criteria for the table topic, and this is for the individual evaluations. In one go, you can tell the timing criteria. Yeah. About the dress code, I request the members to please follow the dress code, at least, if not very formal, at least semi-formal, so that we could feel that we are in an official meeting, sitting in an official meeting. the reports of the role players, normally what I saw in our meetings, that reports from all role players are taken by the general evaluators. I mean, even the timer report is also taken by the general evaluator, but here I saw that the Toastmaster distinguished Toastmaster Talha was taking the timer report for the speakers.
No. Yeah, actually what happens is, it happens exactly as you described. At the time of voting, the only announcement made by the timer usually is that who got disqualified, so that the poll can be prepared. Other than that, it happens exactly as you stated, that the general evaluator takes a facilitator reports.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. And the things was, yes.
I had missed certain portions of the meeting. Have the voting been taken place? If not, then I request the GE to please ask people to vote and cast their vote and send to TM Talha.
I think poll has already been launched by distinguished Toastmaster Talha, and the members have already. I request members who haven't voted yet, please cast their vote. The link is in the chat box. Please cast their vote so that we could prepare the results. Toastmaster Talha described very beautifully the roles of all positions in the executive committee, and some things really touched my heart, because since the beginning of my Toastmaster journey, I was told, and I has an understanding that VPPR and VP Public and VP membership role are very much close to one another. They have to work in the collaboration. But today, in one sentence, distinguished Toastmaster Talha described the role, and really touched my heart, that bringing guests to the club is the VPPR role. And from there, the membership role started, transforming the guest into the member is the VP membership job. So that is a very good point. Distinguished Toastmaster Talha, you joined both positions. And second thing, when he says that there are no higher, there are no lower positions. Yes, this is very much true. And I wish that we could adopt this behavior in our daily and professional life too. There is no higher position, there is no lower position. We should respect to the seniors because they have more responsibilities on their shoulders. Just because of this, we have to respect them. And the seniors should respect their subordinates and juniors because they trusted them to take the major responsibilities on their shoulders. So in this way, it could be a both-way traffic. Toastmaster Hussain, in the table topic commentator, you really showed a courage to tell about your supplies and failures. That is really, it seldom happens in the life when somebody tells about his failures and I got supplies and I got failed. But very courageously, you told us about this, and it shows that you are a very honest person, and you want to live the life as it is, and you want to portray yourself as you are. You are a young person right now, and I wish you could continue this gesture, this behavior throughout your life. Congratulations to you. Now, I would like to take the report from our listener and grammarian. That was Toastmaster Shoaib.
Yes, the grammarian point of view, every speaker was spoke too well, and there is not so much improvement as everyone was spoke so well. There are a few areas where we need to improve some of our grammarian. Can I use name of a speaker, or I need to speak in general?
No, you need to speak in general terms, if I'm correct.
Okay, no need to take the names, just give the.
Okay, the overall all speakers spoke very well, and it is very good to see that we are improving on a daily basis. On every meeting, we are making improvements in our grammarian. So my report is every speaker so well for grammarian point of view.
All right. And thank you very much, Toastmaster Shoaib. You did not find any particular grammatical mistakes, or these are all, and the accent was normally the South Asian, which I believe?
Yes. Actually, we use so many times these type of pauses we use in most of the sentences. This is where we need to improvement. This is so that we can so that we can speak in a smoother way. If we make some improvements in ours and pauses, that is my finding.
Okay.
DTM name, I would like to add here that we usually have an counter role, but today it could not be assigned because of last minute joining. Secondly, about the point about the accent that you made, normally in our district too and everywhere in our clubs, we discourage pointing out accents because we have a very huge diversity of accents, and some people speak very well, they're very fluent, uh, but obviously they have a built-in very strong accent. So if we start pointing out regional or ethnic accents and suggesting corrections, that will not be proper. And also I've observed, and you can also correct me on this, throughout the Toastmasters world, I've seen a variety of accents. Um, Africans have different accents. Every European country has a different accent, and even within the US, there are different accents. So once you go down that road of pronunciation and accent, then perhaps it becomes not a matter of grammatical correctness, rather it becomes a matter of personal preference. So that's why we usually avoid going down that route.
Okay. I understand this. Yes, I agree with you that accent is not a thing which we should really much consider, because it is a natural thing. Only we should consider work out is the pronunciation, which we can develop and which we can improve. And apart from Indo-Pak, which I observe, none other part of the world, the people will try to speak in English in English accent. They try to speak in English in their native accent, and they feel pride on it. All right. So now our word master, Hussein, Toastmaster Hussein. May I take the report from our word master, Toastmaster Hussein Shah?
Yes, why not? So the word of the day was scintillating, which means shining, sparkling, beautiful. And not all the members have used the word scintillating. Only and only about 2 to 3 people use the word scintillating. The one was DTM Tala used to listen to the scintillating music, and the TM Sabihida Tahir had a scintillating relationship with Allah and her mom. So, and TM Naveed Aslam used the scintillating word for her spouse. She was scintillating, and for me also, for taking the role of Sergeant in Arms. And these were the 3 people who used the scintillating word. So,
okay, just for your record, I also used twice.
Yeah, you used twice.
So you can add it in your report. Okay.
Yeah, I added it. You used for your spouse and for me.
Okay. Thank you. So overall, I think the meeting was a very successful meeting, and I congratulate to the newly elected executive committee, and I hope they will soon start working on, especially the VP Education, will soon start the working on the club success plan and other things, and plan for the whole year. Very beautifully. And the thing which I really like for today's special meeting, that even the agenda was not established before, but during the meeting, everything was done in a very professional manner. And Asma, I'm really grateful to you that you did it very well and assigned the roles to the most of the appropriate persons, and give the newcomers also the chance to take the roles, and encourage them to take the roles, and they also perform their roles very well. So that's a very good thing in the Storyteller Toastmaster, that they give the opportunities to the newcomers to come forward and take the opportunities, that not also give them learning, but also the courage and confidence on themselves that yes, we can do this. Thank you very much, and I congratulate to everyone, every member of this club, and I give control back to the president or the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Asma Kempal.
Thank you, TM Naeem. It was a wonderful session. We're really thankful that you joined us. Your feedbacks were so valid that we would like to have you again on our meetings, and we would like to see that we've incorporated. Thank you so much. TM Tala, can I please call you as the vote counter? TM Tala?
Yes, I'm here. So I'm floating the poll for best Big Four now. So everyone, please vote for your favorite Big Four role player. The Big Four role players were Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Asma. Sorry, initially it was Toastmaster Imran Rana. So we are sticking by that. Our journal evaluator, DTM Naeem Yusuf. Table topics master was myself. And our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Jahazib Shah. So please vote for the best Big Four. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. I believe Toastmaster Jahazib, you can maybe take over now because Toastmasters.
I can evaluate. Yes, I can evaluate the table topics which we could not do. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that table topic.
Although the voting has been done. Yes.
I think I can reset it. I can reset the poll. I can reset the poll.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I wanted to share my feedback while the voting is under process. So starting from TM Sabi, you started with relationships success story. And the important part, you connected you showed everything like you are an introvert nature. So with that, you engaged a lot of people, the audience with you. And throughout your talk, we got hooked up. And I would like to encourage you to do the speeches while standing up. So it provides a lot of space so that you can show up your body gestures and hand movements and eye contact. So please try to work on these things because it is important that while we are delivering some speech, whatever it is prepared or table talk. So we should do it while in a standing position. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Then it was Hussain Shah, and Toastmaster Hussain, you did a wonderful job by honestly sharing your thoughts, your failures, and your motivations. So as DTM Naeem said, it was something which requires a lot of strength to do, and you have that strength, and hope you carry on with that approach because it brings a lot of opportunities when you are honest, and it brings a lot of good vibes when you act and think in that manner. So wonderful speech by you. Again, I would encourage you to use like you have been keeping the hands free in that position. So you need to free up your hands. You need to use body language. So please consider delivering a speech while standing position, and use the laptop for laptops speakers while delivering, or try to do it with different kind of wireless headphones, so that you have your hands free. So that is more important. So please try to work on these areas. It was your it is your beginning, so we hope that you will work on these things. So it is encouraged to do these things. So then we had DTM Naeem Yusuf. DTM Naeem, you were wonderful. You shared a story, and we all know when any speech is delivered with a proper story, it engages audience and it connects pretty well. So that is what you did. You engaged everyone, and it went like this. So amazing speech, amazing story, wonderful message, and you used proper stage, and you showed how the table talk or any speech to be delivered, like using the whole area, using the whole stage. So that is how it should be delivered. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And then we had our guest, Maha Asim. Maha, you did wonderful. You almost qualified for the minimum required time, and you did it by just introducing yourself. So that was amazing. You had confidence in your voice. you had clarity in your sentences. So that is very encouraging, and we hope that you focus on coming on coming in our meetings frequently. So please do come, please join as frequent as possible, and you would do good, inshallah. And then Shoaib Shah shared his struggles, his tough times in his job, and then he again used very straightforward and honest approach, and he shared his very unique times in his career. So amazing delivery. And as I'm mentioning again, that please consider delivering the speech while standing position and use some body language. So that is important. Please consider that. And then we had Mr. Naveed Aslam, a Toastmaster. Naveed, you did wonderful performance. You shared very good part of your personal life, but the important part was your facial experience. I must comment that you had very good facial experience, and your eye contact, it was amazing. You conveyed a lot of things just by your facial experiences. So very much to learn from you on that part. And please consider delivering a speech while on a standing position. So that covers my part. Over to you, DTM 9. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chase, for giving a very brief evaluation of the individual of the table topic commentators. That is a very important role. That combines two roles: the listener and the table topic evaluator. So you did both. You merged that is the merger of the both roles. Thank you very much, and that's a really very precise recommendations for the speakers to improve their communication and the speaking skills. Thank you very much. And I give control back to Toastmaster Talha.
Okay, yeah. So as the vote counter, I'm supposed to announce the result, but let me first inform everyone that I have reset the poll for Big Four because it was only fair. So everyone, please once again vote for the Big Four. The link is right here in the chat box. Meanwhile, I announce the other results. So first of all, the best, there was no voting for best speaker because thanks to Toastmaster Naveed Aslam's tardiness with the time, I got lucky. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Asma Kempfala. Best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. And we have gotten the votes for best Big Four. And the best Big Four goes to distinguished Toastmaster Naeem Yusuf. So congratulations and over to you. And I must add here, DTM Naeem, that we have had so many guests from abroad, so many experienced Toastmasters. And I have found you to be one of the kindest and most accommodating senior Toastmasters out there. You are very understanding. You're very reasonable. You don't have any airs or any baggage from about, because let's face it, we hear that a lot. In my club, this happens. In my district, this happens. And you guys should do that. So, and your suggestions were all very constructive, very sincere. I salute you for that. So over to you, Mr. President.
Right, thank you very much. And I really, whatever I was saying from the bottom of my heart, because I see the sincerity and enthusiasm in the club member of the Storyteller Toastmasters. So really, I salute you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DTM Naeem, and thank you so much, DTM Talha. So amazing meeting. And with that, I have to conclude the meeting, but I would like to congratulate again and best wishes for the new XCOM, and hope you have a good week ahead. So thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for attending the meeting. And thank you, Toastmaster Asma Kempfala. I know how hard it is to attend a meeting from work. So
Actually, this is the
thank
second
you so
camp
much.
wala I came to know, because I think in the Park Tech, I came
Yes.
to know Ghulam Qadir camp wala, and this is the Asma camp wala. So now there are two in my.
Yes.
He's my brother. He's my
Yes.
brother. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Just one comment. This was the last meeting of this year, and the year was really commendable. I must say that many members started with us. They're still on membership with us, but they're unable to attend. But we hope that they will be attending the sessions. I would congratulate the last XCOM, because I mean the way it was a very wonderful year. I mean, I must say that the team worked so well. And of course, it's also we all owe to the members as well, because the success of any club is from the members. And I'm always fascinated by the teamwork that we do. Although there are some ups and downs, but I must say that TM Jahadev, you've been an excellent president and very supportive. And congratulations to you for running a successful year. And thank you so much for giving us a very high target for the next year. Because I mean, of course, the club has to move up and above. So we take that from onwards. And I hope that, inshallah, in the next year also, we will be able to perform well and come up to the expectations of the members. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asma. And the way that you attended today's meeting is testimony to your dedication that you've consistently shown. And that's the truth, DTM Naeem, that many of our members have transitioned between jobs. Many of them have faced uncertainty due to the COVID, but we never missed a single meeting, and we never had less than 2 projects in any meeting. Even if sometimes the agenda was prepared on the spot, like it was done today, we've never felt short of role players. We've rarely felt short of the quorum. So again, that shows the commitment of our members. And as Toastmaster Asma said, that yes, of course, and I've personally witnessed how Toastmaster Jahadev and Toastmaster Asma, how much time and effort they have dedicated towards strategizing for this club under the tough circumstances. And I would also like to record my appreciation for our 2 club coaches, Toastmaster Javed and Toastmaster Ahmed Bilal, who have guided the club from a position of having, I think, 9 members to now being a distinguished club, which in the current scenario is no mean feat. So, and of course, that also includes the membership goals and the education goals. And the credit for education goals goes to our VP Education, Toastmaster Asma. And before that, our previous VP Education, Toastmaster Fatma, who could not continue due to her engagements. So we've had a transition of 2 or 3 VP Educations, but the fact that we've reached the distinguished status means that our members have put in the effort. So thank you so much, everyone. And Toastmaster Jazet, would you like, or does anyone else like to say anything before we end the meeting?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
And see you, inshallah.
Thank you.
And I'll echo Toastmaster Jazet that DTM Naeem, we would love it if you visit our club again and again. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, it will be my pleasure. It will be my pleasure.
Great. Thank you so much. Sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a nice day.
Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Allah Hafiz.